Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Honest Talk Radio. Honest Talk Radio is a space where we will be sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly in real, raw conversations to try and do our part to reduce the amount of shame, guilt, and judgment that so many of us face. Our Wednesday night edition is with father, actor, author, fitness expert, and nutrition expert, Sanjay Raja. So tonight we're going to be talking about all those special occasions that seem to derail us on our nutrition plan. So enjoy. Hey Sanjay, how are you?
Good, doing well. How are you?
Doing great, thank you. I thought this week would be a good week to talk about all those special occasions that knock us off track, because yesterday was my birthday, and I am definitely one of those that fall into that trap.
Well, happy birthday again.
Thank you.
No problem. And so, since we're talking about that, what did you end up eating for your birthday?
Oh gosh, I should have known I was going to be called out. All right, let's see. What did I eat? Yesterday, my husband made me a wonderful baked potato soup for dinner last night.
Okay.
I had my typical breakfast, which is a hard-boiled egg, some bacon, and a piece of toast. And I'm honestly trying to remember what I had for lunch. Oh, that's right. Friends of mine took me out, and we went to an Asian restaurant.
All right, that's not too bad.
And I totally left out the fact that I had a very fantastic peanut butter ice cream cake.
Nice. Here's the thing though. Did I expect you to eat something that's decadent and delicious in every way? Absolutely. Not a big deal. But kind of getting back to our point, which is how to avoid getting derailed. Well, that's one of the things is I mentioned to people, which is why is Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, all these diet plans, unsustainable? Why? Because they don't take into account that life is going to get in the way, right?
Sorry. Yep.
So what happens is you have to basically work around that. So how do you work around that? And the only way you can do it is by making a true lifestyle change.
Right.
So in order to do that, you have to realize that if you eat healthy and clean as much as possible, you're going to have those days where basically you have a birthday party, a holiday to go to, and or a function. So you don't have to feel guilt and beat yourself up over it for the next 3 days because you fell off track.
Right.
So the other thing to do is, for example, you mentioned your birthday. When my twins were 4 years old, we hosted a birthday party for them at the house, and we invited about 30 families. And I conducted a little social experiment. What I did was, instead of ordering pizza and junk food for all the kids, I ordered like jerk chicken that was really healthy, steamed veggies, and baked plantains from this Jamaican restaurant down the street. And all these families started showing up, and the parents actually started freaking out because they were looking for the food for the kids. And I said, "This is the food for the kids." They literally were running for the door. I had to stop them because the moms and dads were like, "We're having McDonald's. They're not going to eat any of this stuff." And I said, "You know what? You haven't even tried. This is the issue. So just bear with me. Let them try it." And they were all skeptical. So I had my kids eat. Then they brought their friends. By the time we were done, the kids cleared out probably like 6 trays of jerk chicken. And the point of that story was very simple. You can enjoy birthdays, holidays, celebrations with healthy food. It is possible. We've got it in our minds that we have to feed sugary, decadent things to our kids and ourselves on these special occasions. But you don't have to do that. You can add that as a compliment, but you can eat healthy on your birthday and then have a piece of cake too. It's just testing the waters. You're not really pushing any boundaries. You're just setting a standard saying, hey, we can mix clean with not so healthy food at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're right. It is a lifestyle change, lifestyle mindset when you're talking about how are you eating the rest of the time, the rest of the year, except for those, occasions. I have to say, when you're thinking about food, this podcast has helped me. I think about food all the time now. Whereas before it was definitely something that was just, I had to do it. And I never really, I mean, I enjoy food. I enjoy trying different foods, but it was more of a, oh gosh, I have to eat now, as opposed to thinking about fun and exciting ways to add food into my everyday.
Well, that's the thing. We think about food probably most often when we're seeking some sort of enjoyment. So we're going to make our favorite dish or dessert, but we don't think about food as something that keeps us grounded and keeps us healthy on a daily basis. And I think that's where people need to have a paradigm shift, is to think of it as your daily medicine, because your medicine can taste as wonderful as you want it to be. And if you enjoy making it, preparing it, thinking about it, you can find so many creative ways to get everything you need. You can reduce the chance of getting sick, and you can have more vitality, more energy, while eating a lot of food and losing weight as well.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. What are some, so you told us about your twins' birthday. What are some other items or go-tos that you recommend when you're thinking about meal planning for special occasions?
Yeah, so for example, the holidays, me and the kids, we go to my hometown of Kansas City, and we have Thanksgiving with my best friend and his family, and we invite all these other people I grew up with in high school, and it's just a big gathering we do once a year during Thanksgiving. And in order to kind of minimize the amount of decadent and not so good for you food, what we do is for every item there's an alternative. So for example, they make mashed potatoes with butter, cream, and everything. I'll bring in sweet potato mashed potatoes that with minimal ingredients and like maybe some cinnamon. So then on our plate, the kids will have half mashed potatoes, half sweet mashed potatoes. For gravy, they'll make this gravy from the drippings from the pan from the turkey. I'll bring in a healthier option of my own version. And so now you've got options. So basically we do half and half. So for every item that's decadent and full of not so good ingredients, we have an alternative so that they can go half and half, and you're actually cutting, you don't realize how many calories you cut if you half the portions of the not so good stuff.
Yeah, that's true. What do your kids think about the way that most others eat?
They only, they see both sides of it. When I was on my fitness journey before I started really eating clean, I ate some not so good stuff back in my time, and I would tell them about it. Mm-hmm. And it made me feel good for the moment, but the rest of the day I was dragging. And so they've heard the stories. They've seen their classmates do it, eat not so healthy lunches. But I want them to understand that moderation is key to everything, and that you can enjoy life and food and all this good stuff out there, but you just got to know when to say when. Yeah,
that's so true. I've had several teachers and classmates comment on my daughter's lunch at school. My other two are homeschooled, so they eat whatever is in the fridge.
Right.
But, they'll be like, I can't believe she's, taking 3 fruits and 2 vegetables and hummus and, where's the peanut butter and jelly, which she does do sometimes, but it's definitely, it's no different for her. Like, she doesn't know any different. So she doesn't know that when she takes half of an avocado with a spoon, that's weird,
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, is you can mix and match items together. So, like for the kids' lunch, for example, I'll do like a sun butter sandwich with flaxseed bread, bananas and cinnamon, and an apple, some banana chips, and then maybe give them like a low sugar protein bar, because they think that's more like a candy bar to them.
Yeah.
But try to keep it low sugar, and you're not hiding anything from them. You're just saying, hey, you can have a little bit of the bad stuff and along with the good stuff, and moderation is the key. But getting back to the main point of holidays and landmine months and birthdays, for those who don't know me, what I call the holidays, birthdays are called landmine days and months, because you're going to step on a landmine of just junk food. And it could derail you, and it derails a lot of people. And they fall into this trap of, okay, well, I ate bad yesterday, so I should just keep going in this direction. So that being said, birthday parties, I am notorious. If it's my kids' friends' birthday parties, I bring my own food. I do it all the time. Because I know it's not going to be my kind of food. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. My kids will eat a little bit of the food that the host provides, but I bring my own food for myself, and I bring a little bit for them as well. Never had an issue with parents saying anything.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've never even thought to do that, to be honest. What are some ways when you do, if you do get off track, how do you suggest getting back on track?
Well, you got to think about it this way. That is, one day does not mean you're going to gain 10 pounds.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people think is like, oh my God, it's so bad today, I feel bloated. Most of that is psychosomatic, meaning your brain is telling you that your body, that you've gained 10 pounds, but you did gain 10 pounds. You may have added more calories than you need to. So what you do the next day is you taper off as far as your calorie consumption a little bit, eat as much as possible, work out, try to get some exercise in, and then basically, like I said, your clothes will never lie to you. So if your clothes feel like they're super tight after one day, then you probably ate like 3 days worth of food. But that's not going to happen. Your clothes are going to feel the same way after one day of bad eating versus 3 weeks of bad eating. So one day should not derail you because that's mostly psychological. We convince ourselves we have to be so super strict. You don't have to be. You can be basically, you can enjoy what you're doing, enjoy the food you're eating, and just basically, as long as you are doing your daily activities and eating clean breakfast and lunch and maybe a dinner that has a small piece of dessert, you will not fall off track.
Yeah. So again, what we say every week, moderation in all things. And have you found in your research and study that a lot of people, well, first of all, when you do allow yourself to have some of those not so good for you things, that your body craves it?
Well, so what happens is over time, so we get a little bit more scientific on this one, and that is when we consume a lot of sugar, for example, we create what basically sugar attaches to our brain in what are called opioid receptors, right? And so what happens is the more sugar we eat, the more receptors we create. Therefore, it's an endless cycle of you have to have twice as much sugar to get the same effect, right?
Right.
So here's what happens. When you start decreasing sugar intake, you actually are reducing the amount of opioid receptors in your brain. So what happens is your taste becomes more sensitive to a smaller amount of sugar, so you don't need as much to get the same effect.
Yeah.
So for me, like eating a cashew or eating one pecan is like eating like 2 pieces of chocolate because it's so sweet to me. So you'll need less to get the same effect, and you can enjoy it, but the good news is you don't need as much as you did in the past.
That's so true. Being completely transparent and honest here, I used to be really addicted to Coke. Like, I had to have a Coke with every meal.
Same here.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
And now I can't even stand the stuff. I tried to have one, a couple months back, I can't remember why I thought that was a good idea, but I tried it and then I was like, oh, that just made me feel sick. It was so sweet. Whereas before, I couldn't understand why people didn't like it.
No, I was the same way. I actually, if I didn't have one can of Coke with every dinner I had, I was in a bad mood the next day. I mean, I couldn't tell you why I was in a bad mood. I was just in a really bad mood. And that's what it tells you. It's a psychological hold on you. And what you're doing is basically you're conditioning your mind when you take that sugary beverage every day or have that whatever dessert or treat, and you do it on a constant basis. You're training your mind to basically say, here's my feel-good pill. I'm going to feel good after I eat this. And this is all happening subconsciously. You're not saying this to yourself actively. And then when you don't get it, there's withdrawal, just like a drug addict. So what happens is once you withdraw from it, then you come out of this state and you realize, hey, you know what? This isn't as good as I thought it to be because it was all psychological. I convinced myself because it's affecting us at a very deep-rooted level in our pleasure center of our brain. And so once you take control of the pleasure center of your brain, you can basically say yes and no and moderate as much as you need to.
Yeah, is there a when somebody is, getting ready and they want to make this lifestyle change, is there a time period that you see, I know they say it takes, basically 21 days to create a habit. Is there, when you start implementing these changes and these lifestyle changes and mindset, what's the kind of rule of thumb that goes along with that?
Well, everybody's situation is different. Some people have kids, some people don't have kids. Some people have a lot of families, others don't. Others travel, some don't. So you have to take into account who you are in your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Some people can go cold turkey. Now, if you can do that, more power to you. And if you can maintain that, even better.
Even better, yeah.
But most people have to do a gradual weaning off period where you're slowly decreasing it by a certain percentage. So that's why we say to all our clients that we work with, think about it in terms of every week you're going to reduce it by 10 to 20%. So is there a good time to do it? Which, to answer your question specifically, try to do it, between the holidays or after the major holidays.
Yeah, don't set yourself up for failure by going into the holiday and being like, I'm going to say no to everything.
Exactly, because here's the thing, you're not going to say no to everything, and you're going to feel left out, and you feel like you're being judged because you're not partaking and everybody else is. So enjoy. Don't do any self-loathing, which is a rule with my clients, is that no self-loathing is allowed. And most importantly is, I bring it back to this, which is, if you have a big holiday, if you have a big event, eat clean in the morning, try to get some exercise, eat clean for lunch, and then you're going to indulge because sometimes it's out of control. Guess what? You won't feel as bad.
Yeah.
And come out of this a lot happier than you will if you ate poorly the entire day.
Right, exactly. Do you ever, totally random, but do you ever pre-eat before you go to the party or the...
No, that's a great point. I do. I actually do it quite a bit. Because, for example, when I'm on set for TV, film, and commercials, it's called craft services. So what they do is they hire a local restaurant or someone to cater the set, right?
Yeah.
And you never know what it's going to be. And 9 times out of 10, it's never something that I want to eat. So basically what I'll do is I'll either bring my own lunch, or if I have to come in later that day on set, I'll have already eaten. And that way I'm good to go, and I'm just snacking throughout the day.
Yeah, that's good. My husband and I joke that sometimes we pre-eat if we don't know what we're going to walk into with food.
There's nothing wrong with that, because you're just looking out for yourself, and you're not trying to be rude. So you may graze a little bit there, eat some of the snacks or whatever is out there, but you don't have to eat the main thing. Like if it's ended up being pizza, you don't have to eat pizza, and you're good to go.
Yeah. So going back on special occasions, for me, traveling and going on vacation is one of those occasions that oftentimes it really revolves all around food. When we schedule a trip, we literally start thinking about all the amazing places that we're going to eat. So going, back to that special occasion derailing topic, I know you travel a lot, so what's your secret?
Well, like for example, I'm in LA today, and I had to catch a flight this morning at 5:55 a.m. Oh. And so what I did was, last night, I meal prepped my breakfast. And I'm notorious for doing this. What I'll do is I'll pack 6 Tupperwares full of oatmeal, protein pancakes, eggs, and guess what? I whip out 6 containers of food right next to the guy next to me, and they're all looking at me like, what is he doing? And it's a spectacle, because I'm feasting on this breakfast I made. That's enough for probably 3 people, because I know what's going to happen. I'm going to miss lunch, and that's exactly what happened to me today. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be waiting to go to eat dinner, and I'm experiencing a 3-hour time change from the East Coast, so my eating habits are all off today. But guess what? That breakfast is carrying me up into the point I actually get to sit down and eat dinner.
Yeah, it all comes back down to that plan. When people sign up to work for you or work with you, Is this something that you guys go through? Is the meal planning and the prepping so that it becomes second nature like it is for you?
Yeah, I harp on that constantly because first I have to get a sense of their lifestyle and, what is their day-to-day activities? Are they road warriors? Are they stay at home? Are they close to by the office? So once we get a sense of their lifestyle and who they are, then we have to sit down and make a plan and say, hey, what can you commit to making for yourself in meal prepping? And once they can commit to that, even a small amount, what happens is it becomes an addiction. Mm-hmm. It's a good addiction to have, where you realize, you know what, I want to be in charge of what goes into my body, not have what's around me dictate what I eat. And guess what? Some people take longer than others, but when they do adopt it, man, it's amazing the transformation, how quickly they get there, because then they're control freaks with their food, and they meal prep everything and anything.
Yeah, we've talked about this on previous episodes, but just going back to, I'll have a habit of, I'll get really good at it for probably 3 weeks of, meal prepping and buying the right stuff and spending the time and the effort it takes to have a plan. And then something will knock me off, whether it's sickness or like this episode, a special occasion, that we were out of town or something and we just didn't get around to our normal, maybe Sunday afternoon grocery shopping. And then it just feels like once you have a week like that, it's trying to find the energy to start back up is so hard.
No, and I agree with you. It is hard. And it's one of those, it's just like working out,
Yeah.
This is a compliment, or actually not even a compliment, it's more important than working out, because if you don't work out for a week versus eating bad for a week, guess what? Eating bad for a week will have more of an effect than not working out for a week.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't realize, is that I have to get my workout in. No, you need to get your meals in the way you want them to be and eat properly. That will have more of a positive effect than you skipping a week of workouts.
Yeah, it's very interesting how we put, I do it too. We put working out above everything. And I'm so guilty. This is Honest Talk Radio. I'm so guilty at skipping meals because I have that mindset where I'll think, oh, well, I worked out today and now I'm busy and I have to get to this, and this. And I put everything else as a priority rather than my nutrition. And I am so guilty of that.
And that's the thing. What we don't realize is that working out is a short-term burn of calories. Eating properly is a long-term burn of calories. Mm-hmm. And that, how are we burning if we're eating? Well, it's very simple. We're priming our metabolism to be efficient. And if we are fasting, if we're not eating proper calories, if we're not eating any calories, we're just basically going in the reverse and telling our body to store fat and sugar and use that as energy.
Right. Yeah. I know these things, but it's so hard. How long does it take you to meal prep for a week?
It just depends, if I'm meal prepping for the week, so if I've got the kids for the week, and I meal prep their lunches, I meal prep the dinners for us, for the three of us, because I know I'll look at my week and say, I go Tuesday, I'm not going to get a chance to cook. Thursday and Friday, yes. So I'll just look at my week and say, when can I realistically put in the time to cook? And if I can map it out, then I'll make those dinners accordingly, because leftovers in my house, we eat them because I don't like to waste food. And two, they're just super convenient because they taste good, because it's everything that the kids have eaten before.
Yeah. I know a lot of people don't love leftovers, and I too don't like wasting food, but there's certain foods that I do enjoy having the second or third day, but there's others that just don't seem as appealing or appetizing after it's been freshly made.
Yeah, depends on the meal, So if the meal contains like a lot of sauce on it, for example, it makes it a little bit less appetizing because it's, the meat or the veggies are wilted because they're soaking up all that sauce.
Right.
So one of the ways to get around that is our leftovers or our meals that require a lot of sauce, we put it on the side and we pour it on right before we heat it. You know what I mean? So that way you can control the amount of sauce you put on there, and it doesn't affect their flavor when you're eating it, the second day.
So when you meal prep, do you just prep the, let's say the vegetables and the sides and things like that, or do you actually cook it all in one go, or does it change?
No, I cook it all because I don't have time to say I'm going to cook this today or that day. I'm just looking at my schedule saying this is what I can do and commit to, but I cook it all, and I don't even know why I have a microwave because it's there for show. I never use, honestly. I use a toaster oven and a regular oven constantly to heat up my food. To me, and this is completely psychological, but to me, heating my food in an oven or a toaster oven tastes better, and I don't feel guilty at all versus heating it in a microwave. That's just me.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I feel like that's a whole nother topic for another show.
It is. It is. The microwave, revolutionized convenience in so many ways. A lot of those ways are harmful. But to me, I never ever use that microwave for anything. It's just there for show.
Yeah. It's you mentioned the word convenience, and I think that is where, at least for me, the struggle becomes real. Because we want things to be fast. We want them to be right there in front of us and not to have to put too much. There's so many different contraptions out there now that you can make things in a hurry or get things in a hurry. That fast food, that's why that's become such a huge time saver, but at the same time, such a huge health problem. And so do you guys, I know you're on the go all the time and you meal prep, but do you guys do you eat in the car a lot? Do you take your food on your drives up and down the freeway, dropping kids off, taking them to appointments?
Yeah, so for breakfast, if I've got, I can't sit down and eat my breakfast, I'll make a breakfast sandwich, which is a hybrid of my breakfast. And I absolutely hate eating in my car. I'm really just picky about food in my car, honestly. And it goes without saying that if I let the kids eat in the car, it's going to fall between the seats. Every time, And then I can't find it, and that's a whole other reason. But honestly, eating in the car and sitting for long periods of time while you're eating in the car is probably not the best thing in the world for you. But as a matter of convenience and you're in a time crunch, if you're eating healthy, if you're eating, as best you can at your meal prep, yes, for road trips we'll do it because I'd rather eat in the car with the stuff I meal prep than stop off at a rest stop and go eat whatever, fast food is there.
Yeah, from the vending machine.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So what are some takeaways from today's episode about these special occasions or what do you call them? The landmine days or months?
Yeah, landmine weeks, months, and days. First of all, you're going to have bad days.
Yeah.
So don't beat yourself up over one or even two bad days because unless your size 4 jeans after one bad meal don't fit you, you don't have to freak out. Okay? Yeah. You don't have to freak out, honestly. Number one. Number two, you're going to have those bad days, but here's the thing. How do you minimize those bad days? Eat clean. Know which meal is going to be out of your control, and eat the meals around that meal that's out of your control, and be in control. So if lunch is going to be whatever, you have no idea, eat clean for breakfast and dinner, and indulge in lunch because it's out of your control.
Yeah. That's good.
If you're traveling a lot, don't focus on the exercise as much because when you ask most people, they'll say, I'm just going to get the workout in and worry about food later. No, worry about the food and get the workout in if you can. But if not, it's not a big deal. Because the food is the most important aspect of your workout.
Yeah, good way to look at it.
And then lastly, when you have these big holiday gatherings and celebrations, a lot of people are afraid of being rude and not eating what's on the table, right?
Right.
So guess what? Bring an alternative and say, hey, I brought an alternative so that way you can indulge in your recipe while having a little bit of the not so good stuff, and that way when you walk away, You're not feeling like you consumed 2,000 calories in one sitting.
Right. Yeah, no, those are all fabulous points. Maybe we should have had this episode before my birthday. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't too bad. But no, I think that's a great way to put it. And, being able to think of it as a mindset rather than beating ourselves up about it, that's huge. Because I know as women, we beat ourselves up about a lot. And especially if our kids aren't getting, everything we think that they should, and then we're not doing it for ourselves either, it just becomes a whole big mess.
Well, there's a term. It's called body dysmorphia. Have you heard of that term? Okay, so what that means is that the way we perceive ourselves is not the way we actually look. Okay? And we're perceiving ourselves to be too skinny, too fat, too less muscular, and basically it's all psychosomatic. Basically, we think it, therefore we see it.
Yeah.
Okay? And what happens a lot to people is they'll eat bad for a day, 2 days, and then they'll look at themselves and go, oh my God, I gained so much weight. When in reality, they probably maybe gained half a pound or not even any pounds.
Right.
But feel it. They're saying, oh my God, but their clothes are telling them they gained weight. But that body dysmorphia kicks in because we've trained ourselves to be so hard on ourselves to eat properly that it is an unattainable goal.
Yeah, I think that's huge, guys. Setting attainable goals and being realistic. I love when you were talking about finding, looking at your schedule and finding time for when it will be possible to make the meals for the next few days, as opposed to feeling like I said, if we set it for a Sunday night and we don't get to it, then it just derails our whole week, as opposed to saying, okay, we know we're going to be gone. When's the next day that we can meal plan and make sure that we don't get completely off track?
Yeah, and also you got to look at it from a cost benefit. And then when you meal plan, you are saving more money over time than when you are just saying, oh my God, there's nothing at home, let's go out to eat. And you keep doing that over and over and over. Not only do you feel bad about yourself, but you're wasting a lot of money.
Yeah, and then you're feeling even worse because you've spent so much money.
There you go.
There you go. Awesome. Well, I really loved this episode. It's a great food for thought. And going into, we have birthday months coming up, pretty much a birthday a month for the next 6 months. So, and a move coming up. So with all that chaos and, change happening, it's good to have this in the front of my mind as we go into that season.
Yeah, just keep in mind for everybody that your workout is secondary to what you consume, because that will dictate how you feel, how you look, and how much energy you'll have throughout the week.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for this wonderful chat about food and how to create these healthy habits in a fun and engaging way. And I hope you guys will join us next week. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this podcast because we want to keep bringing you guys great material. And don't hesitate to send us your questions so we can be sure to answer them.
Absolutely. Thanks for the time again, Michaela. Look forward to it next week.
Absolutely. Thanks again for joining us for Honest Talk Radio. We hope that you'll join us next week. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.